Howdy, y'all. How we doing? I am Zesty Queso, and we are back again with another RS3 Leaks 2 daily reveal. It is August 5th, and we have been given the last four blessings. So the blessings tiers 4 through 6, and God tier 2. So let's go over these. I'm not gonna go too deep into how strong they are, just because there's a lot of math behind that, and there will be somebody else that will do the math. I'm actually gonna link the content creator Wazi. He's been making this like Leagues Hub document, and he's been putting some good stuff on there. So I'm gonna link that in the description. All right, we have Blessing Tier 4. Zami, we have Havocborn. Your damage is increased by 20%, max life points reduced by 25%, and armor reduced by 25%. So this is saying less tanky, more damage. The Guthix Blessing is a true equilibrium. Gains 75 base ability damage, which is an okay amount, I think. 50 armor, is 500 life points, 5% crit chance, 7.5% crit strike damage, 5 per bonus. And then for each relic alignment you have chosen, you get all those. I looked and saw they specified this means that in 1 through 3, if you had chosen Zami Gothic Ceradomin, you would get these buffs times 3. If you chose Ceradomin Gothics, you get it times 2, so it's how many different gods you've chosen multiplied by that. And it works for the tiers beyond it. So I believe if you take 2 from each, I think you'll get 6 times these bonuses. So that can be pretty huge. Ceradomin's going to be higher power. Your base ability damage is increased by 30%. Pretty strong, but you lose access to the damage buffing ultimates, Berserk, Death Swiftness, Living Death, and Sunshine abilities. So 30% damage always, but these ultimates do give you 100% more damage. So you might want to, or it might be like 75%. Berserk's 50% more. So this might actually be better than I'm thinking originally. And it's just one less thing you have to think about. You don't have to think about a Berserk rotation. You're always in a Berserk rotation. Mini Berserk. So you'll have to decide if you want that. Then we have Tier 5. Whoops. Tier 5 is Zami Unholy Critual. Gain 15% crit strike chance. Your crit strike chance is capped at 50%. All excess crit chance is converted into critical strike damage at a 1-to-1 ratio. This one's pretty funny because it is directly a League of Legends Mayhem augment. So I know we have our mods that are League players because Ezreal, the League of Legends character, there is Ezreal at the Archaeology Guild who is designed after him, and that's confirmed. So Inferno of Zamorak gains 50% crit strike damage. That was, if you look back, that was I believe like a tier 2 Zami blessing. On critical strike, unleash an Inferno of Zamorak. Inferno of Zamorak deals a lot of damage to a single target. So another way to proc it and give it more damage. Guthix, we have Tearing Thorns. Damage over time abilities last 100% longer. Could be really good for different bleed builds. Every 5th hit of a damage over time ability triggers a Grasp of Guthix. So this just synergizes with damage over times. Grasp of Guthix deals additional damage equal to 20 to 30% of your max life points, so still scaling off HP like they have been. And then deal poison damage equal to 80 to 120% of your ability damage in a 3x3. So this is health, maximize your health. Use bleeds, do damage, and also AoE damage. Lord of Light. For Ceradomin, your basic attacks trigger 5 times Light of Ceradomin, so that was an earlier blessing. I'm assuming this will do it even without taking that earlier one. So it spawns 5 Lights of Ceradomin at random tiles near your target, each damaging up to 8 targets within 1 tile. And it was confirmed that this can hit the same target 5 times. So that can be pretty big damage. Light of Saradomin deals 2% increased damage for each prayer point bonus you have, so it scales well with the Icenic Faith Relic. Light of Saradomin now heals you for 5% of damage. That Icenic Faith Relic already makes it so you're probably never going to die. This guarantees it. And then Light of Saradomin deals damage equal to 40 to 60% of your ability damage plus 250% of your armor value. So when you're armor maxing, it will hurt. Then we got Blessing Tier 6. Perfidious. Empowers Inferno of Zamorak, Grasp of Guthix, Light of Saradomin. So for the Inferno of Zamorak, activation chance is increased by 5 times, so you'll be getting those procs way more often. Grasp of Guthix, activation requirement is reduced to 2. So it was 5 ticks of damage over time, it goes down to 2, so that'll be proccing all the time. And then Light of Saradomin's cooldown is reduced to 4.8 seconds from 9.6, so it's halved. Pretty big. Guthix, poison damage is increased by 50%, plus an additional 2% per Herblore level. And remember, Herblore goes to 120, so you can get your poison damage doing almost 300% increased damage. Bic Arrow stonks up, and range gets a pretty big power buff from that. Damaging enemy disables their poison immunity for 30 seconds. This should mean you will be able to poison absolutely everything in the game, even bosses that are typically poison immune, which, if you know how strong poison is, that is strong. Saradomin has Tempered Heart, generates 6% adrenaline every 1.2 seconds. So it's like kind of like a permanent meteor strike. You will be overflowing with adrenaline. And then God Tier 2, we have Zami at Chaotic Insight. Each combat equipment item counts as 2 additional pieces towards its set effect. That means you can probably have these like hybrid setups where you have a piece of a bunch of different sets. So each piece will count as 3 towards its set effect. So you'll probably be able to have like 4 or 5 set effects active at once. Guthix Power Archive grants the automaton control bot, stores up to 20 weapon or armor gizmos, granting their effects while wearing augmented equipment. Combat perks in stored gizmos have their rank doubled, excluding perks that do not benefit from additional ranks. Big time power through invention. For some people, this might be worthy enough to take the regions required to unlock Ancient Invention, and this would be super powerful with Ancient Invention unlocked. And regular, but very powerful with Ancient. And then the Saradomin God Tier 2 blessing is Genesis Essence. Your equipped weapons are treated as Tier 120. Pretty crazy. I think this will mean once you get this God blessing unlocked, it should be pretty late game, so you weren't going to get it early game. But then at that point, if you wanted to hold a bronze dagger, I believe it'll be a Tier 120 bronze dagger, which is hilarious. You're not going to do that because you're going to want to have special attack or some passive from a better weapon. But Tier 120 weapons, that is pretty cool. Let's go take a check at the FAQ, see if there's anything new. How can I unlock blessings? So that's all the same. Let's see if the Discord has anything. Okay. God Tier 2 blessings aren't affected by your choice for God 1. So tiers 1 through 3 will affect God Tier 1, and 4 through 6 will affect God Tier 2. They won't like overlap. Let's see some more information on things. 3 times for familiar boost will work on visible and invisible. For Divine Druid, Breezy's fairly sure that it will work on mining damage and will not work on Nihil accuracy. So just some clarifications. Void Shard drops at most once every 3 minutes, similar but much more likely to Saren Spirits. Invention component drop table is live on the wiki, similar to Scavenging Table. It has guarantee clues now. Region clarifications. Tirnwyn and Kandarin border is a bridge. Incandescents are in Tirnwyn. Gorak area. All these are in Fremennik. World Gate is in Kandarin. Tardiad and Kethsi. Usually 2 to 3 of them. Long quest chains. Breezy doesn't look like they're part of auto quests. I can't see them. I don't believe any tasks require Tardiad. Frenescape was not discussed. No region locking concerns. Okay, some world gate things. They won't have tasks in there, so they probably won't be too relevant. Animal Wrangler, by default, you get POF animals. Toggle to instead get dinos. No off switch. Mod Sponge, Genesis Essence buffs defenders to 120, but not their defensive stats. Good to know. And then Power Archive likely gets the item level 20 and Perfection buffs. Flames of Zamorak itself can critically strike, causing coin flip feedback loops with Unholy Critical. Oh, that'd be sick. So your Flames is the thing from the augment can crit, and that can cause a crit in a chain reaction. All right. Oh, the last thing is easy and medium tasks are available to see on the wiki. And I am going to be out of town for the next 2 days. I am hoping that I'll be able to record some videos on my buddy setup. So hopefully I'll see you guys over the next 2 days. But if not, I will for sure be making kind of like a summary of my plan on Sunday, potentially with a guest starring appearance of another YouTuber. Yeah, a little bit quicker one today. I got to leave, so hopefully I explained some of the blessings good enough for you guys. And like I said, I'll link Wazi's thing in the description, and we'll go over it some more when I get back from my little trip. So tell me which God blessing you're most excited about, which one sounds the most broken to you. And we will see you hopefully tomorrow, but for sure on Sunday. Thanks.